Hey there guys, this is Piper here and welcome to the next episode of Third Age Total War. So we're up to episode 17 and in the previous episode we actually made the trade rights agreement with Guldur and we actually got the map information. So we saw some pretty epic cutscenes from Minas Tirith. So one for Minas Morgul, that's over in Mordor. We saw one for the swamp areas, all the dead swamps. So we've got 23 regions controlled. We've taken out Orcs and Misty Mountains. We've only got to get another 25, or another 2 regions rather, to get up to 25 regions controlled. And then that'll be the campaign over. So I'm only going to be playing the short campaign for this, not the long campaign. So right now we've got an army sieging Dol Guldur, which is in the Mirkwood Forest. Helping out the Sylvan Elves, the Mirkwood Elves, because they're in a bit of a battle against Mordor. Fortunately, Rohan just lost Edoras, which is that settlement there. So basically the Dark Lord called for an invasion of Edoras and they actually took that settlement. So really, from the last episode, I've got 2 options. Either I can send this army down to Edoras, or I can help out the Sylvan Elves versus Mordor by advancing this army down. There might be something there actually. There might be a settlement there. There's a settlement there probably. I know there's a settlement over here as well. We've got the dwarves. They've taken all the upper areas of the map. We've got the orcs, the Gundabad in the centre. So like I was saying before, the short campaign, the criteria was destroy the Orcs and Misty Mountains and capture 25 settlements. So we've got an army moving up from Isengard. I'm making a secondary reserve army here just in case anything happens to these 2 armies. I've got a backup. But we do have the Sylvan Elves. They've got a fairly large settlement right there. 25,000, that's unbelievably large. And there's loads of elf or Sylvan Elves armies scattered about. So that's quite a hard settlement to capture. As you can see, it's at a massive hill, quite difficult to take. I'm going to move this other army down south. There's an army from, looks like Rune, yeah, it's a Rune family member. So I don't really have that much more money to spend. I'm moving up more troops to form up that secondary army. Yeah, just to make sure nothing happens to these settlements. I've got some sort of backup just in case something happens. Mountain Fort, yeah, let's put the Eternal Warriors. Are actually pretty good archers. Very good stats on the melee as well. Let's move them into the army. And I'm sure I had some things building down here as well. So we've got more. So we've got 2 generals that are fairly young down here. One is Enominon and Lair Landon. So one is 22 years old, one is 20 years old. I'm going to move the one that's got the 2 stars. I'm going to move him over to... Yeah, let's move him up to here. That's quite an important settlement. I think that's really all we can really do in this turn. Isengard's pretty well defended. The only thing about Isengard, it's quite close to Edoras now. Edoras is being held by Mordor. But you can see Rohan hot on the tail there, trying to take Edoras back. Don't really feel Mordor can actually hold on to that settlement. They probably had help from Rune and Harad as well. Minas Tirith is still owned by Gondor. Well, I think it's still owned by Gondor. Didn't see any reports about any capitals being lost, so they're going to probably lose Edoras quite soon. So I'm going to move this army down to here and put more pressure on Mordor. I've got a diplomat over here. Let's see if we can maybe move him around. Let's try and find some more settlements. Or even make friends with Dale. Dale's up here. Let's get the trade rights agreement with Dale. Maybe even map information. We need to get 2 more settlements like I said before. Once we get those 2 settlements, that'll be the victory in the short campaign. Again, if you're playing the long campaign, which is what this game was actually originally set up on. I actually meant to do the short campaign, you actually have to take out Mordor as well. So you have the same criteria as the short campaign, take out Orcs and Misty Mountains, hold 25 regions, but you've got to hold 25 specific regions. So capital lost. Rohan has lost his capital. Shit. That's not very good. So yeah, you got to, if you're playing a long campaign, you got to actually hold these settlements and take out Mordor as well, and that's quite a big task actually. So Rohan has lost its capital. So that's Edoras. We're going to have to help Rohan a little bit. It's a little bit too close to my settlements down here. But don't think we've got too many funds available. South Tharbad is not very happy. Put it on... Okay, put it on high tax rate. They should be happy with that. Got our scout there. Okay, let's move the scout down. Let's see what is actually happening over here. Is Mordor advanced so much they've actually put a lot of pressure on Rohan? I would imagine they're probably going to take the capital back fairly soon. This is a really powerful army. We've got the 2 units of ballista and we've got the Eldarinway spearmen, which are freaking badass, and the swordsmen as well. So we're going to move these guys down. Like I said before, we're just got to take 2 regions. We're not expecting to hold these regions, we just have to take them to fulfill the criteria of the short campaign. So you've got the enemy settlement right here. They can hold out for another 4 turns. Could actually attack. The thing about Mordor is they have very good stats on the melee troops. So these are actually the archers. Uric archers as well. Just look at the Uric archers. Their archers can have defense of 12, and that's almost the same defense level as my Sword Quendi. Look at the Orc Raiders, 6 and 8, so they're pretty bog standard troops. But we're just going to sit this one out, I think. And who knows, the Sylvan Elves might get involved in that battle. There's 2 units coming down there. So this looks interesting. On the map, it actually says Wilderland owned by Mordor. Move that guy down. I mean, even if he does get attacked by a large army, this is pretty much an elite force. The ballistas and the Sword Quendi enough to take out anyone. That's the... Discovered a road here. We're going to follow the road up, see where the road goes, and possibly make friends with Dale, get that trade rights agreement in place. So we're just going to make this next army, get these guys combined up. Move these guys down a little bit. So again, I'm going to keep some extra troops in Goblin Town, keep some extra troops in Imladris, just in case the Orcs of Gundabad do attack. I actually might build another Sword Quendi in Imladris. I've only got the Bow Quendi. And he's moving up. Byrie, we've got 2 extra Sword Quendi, let's move them around. Isengard. Can't really afford to build anything in Isengard. Argon, so we've got some units in Argon we can use. Let's move over the... But is there not? Yes, there's actually bandits in this area. Ranged orc looters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 3 units out to attack these bandits. I want to get rid of those bandits because it does have an effect on trade. And again, I think that's everything. Right. And again, bandits over in the northern area. What I'll do is I'll use 4 units. Take these guys out fast. Again, I'm going to fight it still. I don't want to let the AI fight and then potentially lose. So I'm just going to use the archers to wear down the brigands, and then we'll send in the melee troops afterwards to finish off anything that might be left. It's just, he's got any archers? So he's got no archers. Got the 2 units of Sword Quendi. Again, I'm just going to shoot him up as much as we can. And let's triple speed this. So you want to try and get some shots in first, and then we'll engage with the Sword Quendi. Let's just triple speed this. Should probably go for siren shots there, but he actually moved round. I actually moved these guys round to the side. I'm just going to get as many shots in as we can. Wear him down. So he's going to charge forward against the Sword Quendi. Again, let's go for the second unit, Peasant Axeman. That first unit's actually almost completely destroyed. And that's the general there as well. So let's move up the archers. Again, they've lost, what, half their men already. And it was 3-1 in our favour anyway, so we're just going to charge in. Let's just end this fast. And they're probably going to do Innocent Route. No match versus the Sword Quendi. Got our archers firing versus the general. And those guys are going to rout pretty fast. Defeat seems certain. They're only down to 8. They are wavering, and that's going to be a victory for our side. So we only lost about 7 Sword Quendi, 7 or 8 Sword Quendi. So then that's the battle over. Let's just triple speed this. So they're wanting to have another round. We're sending some fireworks. They're routing. They're routing. They might come back from routing. They're actually 14. Because they're bandits, they have no leader. Triple speed. He's just kind of waiting there. Triple speed this up. Again, he's going to be on the verge of routing. I might switch this to off fire. Let's get it to regular. Let's get some more accurate shots in. Because we are getting rear shots, which are going to be pretty devastating versus the Axemen. Just end the battle there. Let's continue. So that's the battle over there. We didn't actually lose too many troops. Probably lost a couple of Sword Quendi. Didn't lose any archers. And we're now free to move those units over. Well, Forlorn might actually require an extra unit. Let's put... Okay, let's put 1 Sword Quendi. I'll move the rest of the units over. Let's move these guys over. They might get down in time for a battle, possibly. Should probably actually just disband those troops actually, but okay, they're doing that, and we'll check out what. So they're going for the other unit of bandits. So this is our scout right there. Diplomat's moving up to Dale. We're going to talk to Dale and hopefully make the trade rights agreement, and let's see if we can get the map information as well off Dale. I don't really have much experience on the eastern side of the map. Because I'm the High Elves, I'm mainly based in the western side, the western central side. Eastern side you have Dale, and you have Dale, Rune, Harad. Harad is really powerful. If you ever play online with Third Age Total War, Harad's one of the best factions to bring. All the units are really good for the price, so is Mordor as well. Mordor's really good for the money. We're going to make the second army right here. So again, we're not making as much money as we were before. Let's look at the stats here. Yes, we're making only about 500 per turn, and that's really down to the fact that we have a lot of armies now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move out some of these units into that army as well. Because we're not making that much money, it's more important that we make full use of our army. This is probably as many units as I actually want. 500 surplus is probably about right. And let's move these units down as well. Okay, I'm going to actually disband these troops. Because by the time they actually get to where they're meant to be going, it's probably going to cost a couple of thousand gold coins. Orc looters, range looters, orc looters. So we're about 3 to 2 underdogs in this. But we should be able to win still. They don't have cavalry. And it is the AI, and I think our archers are actually better than the orc ranged looters. But we'll play it properly, we'll hammer and anvil where we can. Keep these guys in loose. Again, he's going to attack up the hill as well. So we're going to get some good shots in at the start against the side of the orc range looters. We'll speed this up as well. Let's move over the sword quendi. Now the sword quendi are going to be better than the orc looters. We've just done a couple of very good volleys in there versus the archers. Let's triple speed this again. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bring these archers round, pull these guys over. Looks like he's going for the higher ground, and they're already down to 54. And let's get the shots in again versus the orc looters. So he's still keeping these guys in tight formation. He's not going to shoot the cavalry. Taking a bit of damage ourselves there. Let's pull forward the cavalry. See if we can catch the sides of the archers. Oh, they've staked up the ground as well. So that's one of the benefits of these archers. They can actually stake the ground. But I'm going to use the cavalry to make these archers move. Maybe even move away from the infantry. Again, we're getting a lot of good damage in there versus the ranged looters. But he's got a very good... The stats on these looters must be really good. But we are winning that because he's going to charge out. And this is where we can use the cab advantage. So we're going to use the cavalry, go for the ranged looters. Pull back the sword Quendi. Take out these guys. And we're going to switch the archers to tight formation. And they're going to hopefully get some good shots in there versus the orc looters. Pull back the sword Quendi. Again, just do as many kills as we can on the range looters. Pull over everything. Let's get the kills on the archers. It says here defeat seems almost certain. But I don't think that's the case because you've just done a lot of damage to the orc range looters, and got the possibility here to do a lot of damage to the orc looters. Again, we are actually outnumbered in this. We're going to go in for another charge there versus the orc looters. So we've got the archer advantage now. We're going to keep the bow Quendi firing in against the orc looters. We've got the rout on the enemy archers, so we do have the advantage now. We've got the cab advantage and the archer advantage. Just a case of getting as many kills as we can with our archers. Keep the cavalry back. Again, because we've killed the enemy archers, our general is amongst the cavalry. He's going to pull one unit back to go for my general. And we're just going to triple speed this. Keep this on. Keep them on guard mode. So we are actually pulling this back. Where's our sword Quendi? Our sword Quendi is freaking miles away. So we'll bring the sword Quendi. Where's the best place for the sword Quendi? Probably over here actually. So I don't want them to engage with the orc looters. Pull these guys back. Let's get our sword Quendi. Suppose we could always hammer and anvil. And yeah, so he's going for the sword Quendi, not the bow Quendi. So we've still got arrows left for the archers. Keep tabs on our cavalry, don't want those guys to catch up. And these guys are going to get some pretty good shots in there versus the orc looters. And the orc looters are actually getting a lot more tired than my sword Quendi. My sword Quendi have done running. But look at all those kills with the bow Quendi. And we're going to move these guys up to the top of the hill. Move these guys over here. So they almost got caught by the orc looters there, but we're going to hammer and anvil the orc looters using the Sword Quendi and the Nocturnal Cavalry. It's actually quite a tight battle now. Some of my guys have actually glitched slightly there as well. So we're basically going to pull the Sword Quendi up to the top of the hill. Then we're going to hammer and anvil with the cavalry in the back. Our archers will be shooting those guys. And they're just moving up the hill. So this should be virtually a straightforward battle here. These guys are better. We're going to get the charge and the hill advantage. They're too far away. So they might actually instantly rout from this charge. But the side on charge is going to rout the hell out of these orc looters. So hopefully they rout from this fast. And they do, they're actually routed. Pull these guys back up the hill to fight the next unit of bandits. But these guys have been worn out by the archers. So they're down to 18. So that's virtually game over. And I think we'll just do the same again actually. We'll just charge in the Sword Quendi. Let's get one more good charge in there versus those orc looters. They're still 18, they might come back from routing. Pull them over. And again, just going to send down the Sword Quendi. We're going to attack from all sides. Got the archers firing as well. Let's get one flaming arrow volley in there before the Sword Quendi get in contact. Yeah, they're just getting so many kills right there. So there it is. There's one flaming arrow coming in there, and they're actually already wavering. They know they've lost the battle. Hopefully one more volley from the arrows will actually rout those guys. There it is. We'll just withdraw the cavalry again. They're going to get another shot in there. We're sending in the Sword Quendi. So it looks like he's actually going to withdraw from the battle. He was just changing direction. Still using the archers to get the flaming shots in there. It's going to be virtually game over once the Sword Quendi get in contact with the orc looters. So that's the battle over there. They're only bandits. So that was a good victory. They were basically secured Barrow Downs. Barrow Downs is probably the most vulnerable settlement that I actually have. It's right in the boundary between the Orcs of Gundabad and the Free Peoples of Eriador and some of my frontier as well. So we're going to send these guys. Let's just send those guys to defend Barrow Downs. Because if they're going to attack at one place, it's going to be Barrow Downs. That's the worst place that the Orcs of Gundabad can attack. Again, like before, just going to move down the Rohaduron, the infantryman. He's the 10-star general, or he's 9-star right now, but he's 10-star when fighting orcs. Gonna move him down, and we're gonna see if we can take another settlement from Mordor. They have to come out of the settlement in the next 3 turns. There's a really large rune army. Let's send in the spy, Baratheon. Let's see what he's got. going into the tent. This doesn't look good. Oh, so he's actually in the army. I thought he was going to get captured there. Sometimes they run in to get hit by arrows. That's good, he's actually in. So we're going to check out some of the enemy troops. Balchoth tribesmen. Pretty good there. Let's get clan guard. Pretty good in stats. Dismounted Variegs. They look a pretty average army. It looks worse than what it actually is. Some of the units aren't really that good, to be honest. We're going to move up the diplomat to talk to Dale. Let's talk to this guy here. Let's ask for alliance trade rights. Map information for map information. Let's make the offer. Just rejected. Really? Okay, let's make another offer of just trade rights. You have to accept that. Not interested. Fair enough. They don't want to be friends, let's just move away. Let's move down and see what Mordor has. That's quite surprising actually. They didn't even want trade rights. Usually they accept trade rights, or they will deny map information. They're all coming over, so let's end the turn there. Again, just probably a couple of turns left in this short campaign. We've got to capture 2 more settlements. Hopefully we're going to capture Guldur, if that's how you pronounce that name. That's the very large hill fort. Currently owned by Mordor, currently sieged by my forces. Again, can't really afford another general. Mission failed. That was... So I did actually try to make friends with these guys, but they said no. Maybe that was why it didn't work the first time round. Let's try that again actually. If he's still there. So yeah, that was why. That was the Council of Nobles mission was actually interfering in their selection. So because there was a Council of Nobles mission, I would have got money from that. I'd have to give money to Dale for the offer to be accepted, just because the Council of Nobles mission. So there's a castle right there, Thoromberg. I really need to get another... I need to get map information from the Sylvan Elves badly. Let's move those guys. Let's move those guys up to the forest. I don't really know I know there's going to be a shitload of orcs down here. Probably want to get map information from Rohan as well, if I can. Northern Misty Mountains. So he's in the outpost right there. Let's move him down. He can actually talk to Rohan. So move him down to here. Let's get him to talk to Rohan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5 or 6, probably about 8 turns before he actually reaches Rohan. Because basically what it is you've got Mordor. If you want to get into Mordor, it's virtually impossible unless you've got about 2 or 3 fully stacked armies. So I really need to get a settlement round about here. Preferably just outside Mordor. I might go for a settlement over here actually. I could always help Dale attack Rune. Or I could even go for the orcs in the Misty Mountains. But I'd like to help out the Sylvan Elves. Let's end that turn there. And that's just our armies moving over. So I'm fairly certain the defenders of Dol Guldur will probably have to come out of their siege at the moment, or in the next turn, because I think they've got maybe like 1 or 2 turns left before they run out of supplies and they have to end the siege. They either have to surrender or come out fighting. let's go for map information if we can. Let's offer it both ways and alliance. They'll probably accept this. Just rejected. Okay, make another offer of map information, alliance, map information. We're gonna give some money. We'll give 1,000. Are they gonna accept this one? Okay, give that. Just rejected again. So that's a little bit annoying actually. Okay, we're gonna fire these guys. Let's get these guys into the forest. And looks like Rune actually owns that region right there. I don't know how far it goes back. If Dale, so it goes probably back up to about there probably, or maybe even here. See some resources right there. If I can maybe get the trade rights, or get the alliance and the map information from Dale, that'll tell me where most of the Rune settlements are. We've got an army, so on the next turn, Guldur has to come out the siege, and we'll probably get some help off the Sylvan Elves as well. We've got a large battle here between the Sylvan Elves and the Rune army, and we're going to make our secondary army right here. So that's the general. He's only age 23. He's going to lead the army. Got a couple more units coming down. Check out Moria. And there's 2 more Sword Quendi coming down. So let's end that turn there. Not really much more I can do. Hidden the army outside of Mordor in the forest. If they get attacked by a large Mordor army, probably defend ourselves quite easily. But Mordor is one of the better factions in 3rd Age Total War. A lot of the stats on the units are very good. So Guldur is coming out to attack. Let's check out the army properly. So for some reason they've actually gained more troops. I don't know how that is. Maybe it's one of the benefits of being in Mordor or being AI, but they've actually built more troops. So it's about 10 to 9, it's about 1 to 1 to be honest, but they do have the hill advantage. And we've got our general right there. Check out the retinues. Orcs of the Misty Mountains Blade, Orcs of the Misty Mountains Armour. It's basically +1 respect. Veteran Warrior, extra hit points. So I don't really like how the AI can actually build more troops during a siege, or when they come out to attack they have more troops, because the whole point of a siege is to make it more harder. The longer the siege goes on, the more difficult it becomes. Yeah, so I'm at the bottom of the hill then. Let's just fight them down here. Or is there enough time to get down? Probably not actually. He's going to have a massive advantage. So I probably should have actually attacked that settlement. Use the archers. Don't really feel there's enough time. Like, let's move up the hill. Then at least we can use the artillery. This is going to be a little bit tricky actually. We're being forced to fight up the hill, and he does have a lot of... how many archers does he have? I can see some bows there. There's at least 2 units of archers. Let's try and... okay. He's going to charge down the hill. Look at that. Look how steep that hill is. And are the archers firing yet? So thankfully it looks like he's got a couple of archers, but he doesn't really have that many, so he's got one. So mainly melee. And let's get these artillery firing. We're going to make... Okay, these guys are going to be group 2. We're going to send around the cavalry, try and get the kills on the archers. I'm going to keep the archer stationary. Actually, you know, I'll pull the archers back. I'm going to try and get these guys up the hill. Let's get the outflank. Doesn't matter about the ballista. Let's just push these guys up the hill. So the main thing is just try and get as many elves up the hill as we can. Let's try and get the right here. Let's try and push back some of these archers. Again, it's just a case of don't want to get trapped on the top of the hill. So let's fight these Urix and we'll pull around these guys to help attack the orcs in the centre. Again, just try and get as much damage as we can. Pull over these guys. So let's move the archers forward. So kill the enemy general. Hopefully that might be enough to rout the whole army. I'm going to rush forward the archer just to try and intimidate the enemy a little bit by the extra numbers. So where's our... So our other cavalry are holding up the archers. And we're going to rush forward our infantry using the archers as well. So the cavalry did a great job there holding up the enemy archers. Oh, wrong button there. So let's pull back some troops just to fight these Morannon Guard. I think they're the really good units. Actually, we'll just fire back at them. Got the archers here. Let's just shoot the hell out of these guard. They're actually spearmen. Have their backs turned. They're actually trying to fire at the artillery. I'm going to use the archers here just to shoot the hell out of these guys. move up everything to attack. We're just going to shoot back at these guards. Hopefully they suffer a lot of damage. They've lost the general as well. And some of them have retreated into the settlement. All these guys are broken. And we're just gonna shoot. Gonna be careful with the general. The general's still vulnerable a little bit, but these archers are shooting the hell out of the guard. We are gonna lose the ballista, but doesn't really matter, to be honest, because we're gonna take the settlement hopefully. Let's just speed this up. And we're going to end that battle there. So that was a clear victory there. Lost a couple of men, lost the ballista, but killed a lot of the enemy, and more importantly, we've taken that settlement from Mordor. So we're up to 24 settlements controlled. Obviously exterminate populace. We've only got to take one more settlement, and then it's victory for the High Elves. So let's look at the settlement. What can we actually build? Let's repair the wall first of all. Okay, there's not going to be any elves in the settlement, so we're going to build some things to help increase the elves in the settlement. So we're going to build the artist studio and then the paved roads. So we've got our other army, our best army here. Rohirdaeron, the infantryman. He's hiding in the forest. I'm going to move down my diplomat and we're going to scout the area. We're going to see if there's any other areas that we can take, any other settlements. Because I know that the Black Gate is right here, but the Black Gate is always really well defended. Obviously I've only got one army, so it's not the most sensible idea to attack the Black Gate. Can I retrain anyone? Can't retrain anyone just yet. But we've got our other army here. That's looking pretty good. We've got the general. Still a couple of units coming over. There's some from Mountain Fort that are coming down. And I think that's kind of everyone, to be honest. I don't really feel there's anyone else that's moving over. Got some extra funds. Let's build some. Can build the heavy armor. Plate armor. Pretty cool to get that. Okay, let's build the... Let's go for the City Hall. And that's quite expensive actually. Can we build anything on Amingasto? Okay, build. Let's go for the Town Guard. And let's go for the stables. Again, that's come along quite nicely there. We've got our other army getting built. That army's in the forest hiding. We've got a diplomat coming down to talk to the Sylvan Elves. Just taking that last settlement. It's probably been better if I actually attacked that last settlement, because the way that the map works, it's actually a massive steep downhill slope. So if I'd actually attacked in the last battle, it would have been probably better for me. It worked out quite well though in the end. Got the outflank with the sword Quendi, and we used the bow Quendi to shoot the Morinano guard, if that's how you pronounce it. The One Ring has been found. My lord, we have acquired the great ring of power. The One Ring bestows immense power upon those with a will strong enough to make use of it, but also carries ruin and great danger with it. So we've got the ring has been found again. Who found the ring? So we repaired the Guldur faction announcements. So Mayglad found the ring. So let's look at his stats. He's in Guldur, I think. So he's got all these Orcs the Misty Blade, Orcs the Misty Armour, Mordor Armour. There's some kills to Mordor just there, and the One Ring. And he's now a 9-star general. So he's actually pretty good now. Although we're going to have to be a bit careful in case the ring actually corrupts him. But he's going to be pretty useful actually. So that's another powerful army in this area that we can actually use. Obviously we're going to have to keep some troops close by. Just in case they get attacked. But I'm going to do a bit of scouting here. Let's get our other scout. Where is he? He's over here. So a little bit of a war happened between the Sylvan Elves and Rune. I could actually even attack Rune possibly. With 2 Mordor armies right here. I'm hiding in the forest. They can't see where I am. And so we're going to wait for those guys to form up the army. I'm going to move this army down. What else can we put into the army? Let's give him another 2 Sword Quendi. Might as well. That's another army coming down here. And they'll be able to build troops quite soon actually. So they're only down to like 1 Bow Quendi, but they'll be able to build things. So we're going to move the army down. We're probably going to go for a Mordor settlement down here. Mordor is one of the best factions in 3rd Age. So I forgot about those troops coming up from Isengard. I'll probably put them into the army first. And then we'll move the whole army over and start taking preparations to attack Mordor and take the last settlement. Suitable husbands, he's age 60. I don't think so. Decline that one. Let's put him into the army. Put one in. The other one can go into Ermengasto. And he's going to move down. He's going to speak to Rohan. And we're going to see... I know there's a settlement over here. Owned by Mordor. Some Mordor large settlement. So that could be potentially the next settlement that we actually take. Again, I know that the Black Gate is right here, and there's a shitload of Mordor army scattered about here. So you don't want to get caught. You don't want to sort of like move your army in, and then you find you get surrounded, and you have to fight a ton of Urix. So I'm going to move down the scout. I'm going to move down the diplomat. I've got another army coming down from Ermengasto, and then we're going to move that army in and possibly take that last settlement. So again, like I was saying before, I don't actually have to hold that settlement. We're only playing the short campaign. It's been awarded 1,500 gold coins from the council, and that's basically down to the fact that we've moved further into Mordor. And you see that settlement is actually fairly large. What, anything over here? I'm just going to check out that. Right, so they're still owned by Sylvan Elves. So what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to move down that army. We're going to keep scouts over here. And we're going to make sure that Mordor can actually bring up any more forces until our other army comes down. So that's going to be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns at least. So let's end that turn there. And there's the diplomat for, I think that's actually Dale diplomat. Or it might even be, it's kind of hard to see, it's kind of a greeny brown cloak the guy's wearing. And we'll move down the other army here. So that'll be Fangorn. And we'll move down that army right here. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to end this episode right here. I'll move this army down. I'm going to move this other army down. And then that'll be the last episode. Probably on the next episode, we're going to take that settlement there. I might even bring down my general that has the one ring. Me glad. He's got the one ring. So yeah, I'm going to end the episode here. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode so far. Or the series so far. We're almost at the end. We've only got to capture one more settlement, which will be that one there. Again, if you've got any comments or suggestions how I might be able to take this last settlement, please leave a message in the description below. Like always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. This is Piper signing off.